It was a tale of two halves, but the Flames remain perfect, bowl eligible. 6 games in, 6 victories. Give us the bowl game. We're going bowling.
We want more. We want more.
That's
after the game, Chadwell didn't even know. Are we 3-4 or 3-0 in conference? 4-0 in conference? You're perfect in conference.
Just win the day. Just win the day.
On the road, quick turnaround.
Who is this podcast? I don't understand it. I don't understand how does this all happen?
Pay the bills here.
Really happy that Joe was able to watch the game after his pickleball league last night.
Joe put in a night.
Because he played pickleball, and then he was just like, oh, I need to catch up and watch the Flames game.
No, it wasn't
I'm glad that we weren't like text threading with Joe, because we would have given away some major storylines. But it is the Flames Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Without Alcova Mortgage, this thing wouldn't exist. So thank you for giving us the power, Joe Yock.
Amen.
You bring the power.
You're welcome.
Yes. Okay, so we'll talk about how the Flames handled this quick turnaround and the high-tempo offense of Jack State. We'll also talk about some of the standout players, basically my entire Flames fantasy team.
Oh, boy.
Brylan Green is elite. Aaron Bedgood, Quentin Cooley. You got Kobe Singleton with another pick. A lot of stuff to discuss.
A lot of action.
A lot of action. We'll preview Middle Tennessee, looking ahead to next Tuesday's game back on the mountain.
Mailbag.
The
whole deal.
We just got the whole thing.
What a lineup.
Let's roll.
Let's
go. Come on.
We're gonna let Joe kind of build up some of his Yacht Talk energy. So, Matt, what was your storyline that you took away from this game?
There's a lot that you can look to.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to go maybe a little not as obvious. I know Joe's got something good coming. I'm going to say one of my biggest storylines was the Joe Carter coming out party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not since
Rick James.
Principal. Joe Carter.
They call him Rick James. They call him the Super Freak because Jamie Chadwell said he looks like Rick James. Not since Game 6 of the 1993 World Series has a Joe Carter had a better night. That's a throwback.
That is a
Few people
throwback.
will remember that.
Toronto Blue Jays.
Brett McGibbon's loving that right now. Big Jays fan. Not since that Joe Carter has such a good night. 11 tackles. He was everywhere. Yeah. Remember, this was a guy that was a walk-on that got a scholarship before the season started. And this was a coming out party. 11 tackles tonight. Did a great job supporting the run. Did not see a whole lot of Jerome Jolly. I don't know if it was situational or if he's dinged up. I know he was a little banged up in the Sam Houston game. But you see Joe Carter come in at a position where we've talked about, like, not real deep at linebacker. You had one guy bolt already during the season. And to see him come up and play this way, I think has to be such a huge thing for this defense moving forward if you can get that kind of production out of him.
Yeah, and Chadwell said after the game, this guy comes in and does his job over and over and over, like Matt said, walk-on who received a scholarship. Coach Chadwell said he epitomizes what it is to be a Flame and what we want this program to look like. So that is high honor. Joe said after the game.
Smoking Joe Carter.
I didn't get a lot of reps, as a walk-on, but whatever reps I did get, I took advantage of, and I built day after day, and it turned into what my job is now and making big plays. So you can see how that's paid off.
Yeah.
I like that name.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Smoking Joe Carter.
That's a good name. Joe,
I'm going to go with that.
Speaking of Joe.
Right, go with it, yeah.
Smoking Joe Carter.
Joe, what was your storyline of the game?
Listen, here's my story. Here's my story.
Hold on.
What's that?
Do you want me to set you up?
Yeah, set me up.
Okay.
Set me up, Barney.
Do you want to set him up?
Why am I even here?
Let's do it.
Why am I here?
You got to stop with that.
Quiet, because
we love you. You're special. You do an awesome job. We're proud of you.
Real fast.
You just love Matt so much more.
No, I don't.
This is for the social media teams. We need this an easy edit. All right, ready? There you go. Joe, what stood out to you in this huge win for the Flames?
Let me tell you what stood out to me. Here's what stood out to me. Is everybody so it's a short week. It's a this. It's over 40. How are they going to be able to recover so much? You know what? Bill Durkin and the offensive line said, I don't care if we're a little banged up and we're on a short week.
Yeah.
We're going to put our feet in the ground, stick our hand in the dirt, and we are going to get after your hind parts, okay? So Durkin got his boys going, and they ran the ball in between the tackles. So Durkin walked into the meeting room. He stood up right there. He put his thumbs inside his belt buckle. He lifted those bad boys up, and he said, boys, it's time to go to work. And that's what the O-line, and that's what Cooley did, and that's what the boys did, and that is how you become great at the game of football.
Cool.
Can we get the Cooley chance next week? Our man has earned it. What do we have to do? I want to hear when Middle Tennessee comes to Williams Stadium on Tuesday and Quentin Cooley gets the handoff. I want to hear the Cooley. We got to get it going. The kid deserves it.
He really does.
You got to talk to the jokers.
We got to
carry that match.
We got to get in touch with the PA guys.
Get it to the PA guys.
The PA guys got to give like a quick
body.
So what you're saying, offensive line really getting down and dirty. So Coach Shadwell said also after the game that they really challenged the guys to be physical. That was how they were going to have to win this game. But when you look on the defensive side, I mean, this offense for Jack State, I was just like, hurry, get back in position, get together. Obviously, that was probably a factor of how they practiced that high tempo, but they didn't have that much time to practice. So how do you think the defense adjusted? I think it was a tale of two halves, like they said after the game, but
I mean,
how do you make that adjustment?
Yeah, well, the hard part is what's the reason why offenses go fast, right? They want to be able to. They know the stuff they're going to run, right? So they can do it like this, right? What it forces a defense to do is you can't make a lot of calls. You can't disguise. You can't run a lot of different defenses. So it really, in many ways, why these hurry-up offenses work is because it says you're not defensively going to catch us off guard because everything's going so fast. You can only give so many looks. So the impressive part of that for Liberty is defensively is okay, you want to line up and just play football. Here's what we're going to do. And we're going to say that our dudes are better than your dudes, and we're going to stop you. And I think that is one of the most, it exposes you to how good of players you have. So it was really a testimony to Liberty, to the defensive staff, and to the players that you don't have to do, but we're just going to line up, play football, and beat you.
Well, two things on that too. Number one, conditioning.
Yeah.
Right. And it goes back to
shout out Chad Scott.
Chad Scott, which you talked about last week as well, that continues to show up in a game like this, short week, and now facing tempo like that. But also credit the focus of these guys. Joe Carter said after the game, he's like, after every tackle, people were screaming, players at each other, get back, line up. They're like, our whole goal was we want to beat them back to the ball.
Right.
We want to be lined up before them. And that's something every coaching staff, I'm sure, says against a tempo team. But you have to remain so focused throughout the course of a game. Because all it takes is one or two times where you make a play, you're strutting, you're feeling yourself a little bit, and then they're lined up and going, and then they pop a big one. And the focus to get back and continue to get lined up was huge.
Very good point.
Maybe we'll clip that one off and use it for the social media tees.
I didn't have the passion. I didn't have the passion for that.
We did see 3 different quarterbacks for Jack State. So you never know what's going to happen with conference play and what this championship will look like. They also had their leading rusher, Malik Jackson, out. So I'm not saying that the Flames couldn't have won with the right pieces in place for Jack State, but this is a good football team. You can tell that they're coached well. They want to go quick. They weren't very happy when the refs weren't in position at a couple spots.
Rich Rod was not pleased.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, let's go back to the offensive side of the ball. Okay. Matt, we were texting a little bit in the first half. It didn't look like Caden Salter was really in a rhythm in that first half. I know you didn't see this until 1 a.m., so I don't know your judgment.
I'm
just kidding. But, Chadwell did say after the game, I don't think we were making the right calls to get Salter in that rhythm. What do you think that is what you can point at for the lack of execution offensively in the first half?
And there's always kind of that feeling out, right? Early in a game, trying to kind of figure out what are they trying to do? Okay, what can we do off that? He started the game 1 of 8 passing. In the first half, he's 4 of 12 for 32 yards. I felt like, he wasn't in a rhythm. They were getting after him a little bit. He was having to run around. I feel like once they got a couple of easy throws for him, you hit a couple to the sideline, you got tight ends involved. You had to just get him a couple easy throws where it's not read the whole field, but it's just get the ball out.
There was that touchdown pass, or that tried to hit C.J. Daniels, where it was like just a little. He just seemed like a little off with some of his.
Yeah, but I think
like
just get him a couple easy ones to get into a rhythm, and then you saw obviously what Joe talked about. You just start pounding the football because that's what at the heart of it. That's what this Liberty offense is. And when we were going into the season, what did we say? Well, the offense could take a little while. They'll probably really lean on Quentin Cooley early. He was the one guy we felt we knew what we had, right, in him. We'll probably really lean on him early on and then start to open it up. Well, it didn't really work out that way. Early in the season, you had everything working. But in a game like this, you come back to what's our identity. We're big on that offensive line. We've got some powerful dudes up there. Quentin Cooley is a dog, and he is just going to keep hammering it in there. And so that kind of settled things down. Let's just go back to who we are. Mm-hmm. This was a fast defense. Sideline to sideline, Jacksonville State was pretty athletic. So they say, okay, fine, we're just going to hit you in the mouth. And we were the more physical team. And I think that just kind of let everybody, and Salter and all those guys, just kind of, all right, take a breath. Let's just get physical and pound it between the tackles. And that kind of got the offense back on track.
Quentin Cooley, Chadwell said, got stronger as the game went on. Those first few runs early were like 4 or 5 yards, and then you started picking up some
people.
Yeah. He was really dragging people down the field. How difficult is that for a running back to just keep their head down and stay focused to be able to?
I look back and like Day Hunter last year. Right. I mean, that was a strong runner who finished runs. And Cooley you could sense his confidence as he started to get going and really starting to feel it. Then he was like, he wasn't just getting through, he was getting through, and then he was finishing runs. Yeah. That takes its toll on his defense. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I thought was an absolute key to the game was some of the third down conversions in the third quarter. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Jacksonville, there was a tight game there, and Jacksonville State had a chance to get off the field, and they got Henshaw in the short passing game, and were able to convert some. I think they hit one to C.J. Daniels too, and convert some of those third downs, and then a huge play in the game, which was, I think it might have been Caden Salter's best play. I mean, obviously the throw to Treon Sibley, the throw to Bedgood was really nice, but one of his best plays was they got a penalty. They were in a 2nd and 19, and they ran the screen play. Yeah. And he had a bearing to Lucas, and they had people bearing down on it. And then it wasn't like, oh, I just got to flip it over and try to get it to him, as the usual screen is. There was bodies around, and he sort of slung it in there like in a tight window, and they picked up, I think, like 14 or 15 yards, and they got the first down. I think maybe went on to score it. But I thought that throw to me may have been one of his most impressive throws.
8 of 15 converting on third down, 3 of 3 on fourth down.
Yeah.
So that's some impressive
the fourth down
stuff.
conversions too.
And the other guy to talk about, because I don't think you had to lean heavy on Cooley. We know that 28 carries, career high 163 yards, the 2 scores. Billy Lucas, it doesn't look like he's 100% yet, and Quentin Cooley even kind of mentioned that in the post game. But he was involved, and you need him. Yeah. But Aaron Bedgood is the other part of this. Oh. And you saw him in the past game. He caught the touchdown. You saw him, he's that guy. You can get out on the edge, run the option with him. He's just like, he just has a knack. We were talking before. He's like a cat. He kind of always lands on his feet. Yeah. Like great body control. you bump in. He had the one where he like put a hand down and almost kept his balance and like spun around and like continued upfield. He's just...
Oh, that was the one where C.J. Daniels, I think, kind of fell and tripped up that guy and got the penalty. But
exactly what this team needs in so many different ways. He can do everything for you. Where would you be without him in some ways? Like, I mean, such a key piece now.
100%. Like they went out and sort of found him. Yeah. I don't know where he was at. If he's working at State Farm.
Yeah. He was at State Farm.
Okay.
State Farm.
But, they go out and find him at State Farm. And
he wears khakis, actually.
Yeah. And here's the thing with him. Is what Liberty made a conscious decision to do is, hey, they went old school. We're gonna go 2 tight ends, right? The old eye flanker, offset back, offset fullback, and you look and you think of that fullback, that's got to be Moose Johnson out there, right? Is that Moose Johnson out there? No, it's not. It's Aaron Bedgood. And Aaron Bedgood is the lead. I mean, you're thinking, okay, so if I'm a defense, I look and I see 83 at fullback. I'm like, well, this isn't coming right at us. Yeah. They're going to hit us with some option. They're going to try to jet sweep them. They're going to finesse us, right? No. We got Moose Aaron Bedgood Johnston at the fullback position, and he's running power right at him. Yeah. Lead blocking. So, I mean, that dude went from running power, right, to being in the run game, being in the option game, and then you line up in the slot and you run them on a speed post, 6 points, strike it down. Lights out. Unbelievable game.
What are those
by him.
knives? The knives were the
Swiss Army
knives.
Swiss Army
Yeah,
knives.
that
He's a
were
Swiss Army knife.
that's
He's a
Aaron
Swiss
Rodgers.
Army
He is
knife.
Swiss
He's a
Army
Swiss
knife.
Army knife.
Yeah.
Perfect. Another way to slow down the Jack State offense is to keep them off the field. Time of possession for the Flames.
Huge.
Okay, so fourth quarter, the Flames really milked the clock. I mean, there was like a 43-second possession for
It
Jack
was a
State, and then
dairy
it was
farm.
just like
A dairy farm.
Yeah, 9.5-minute drive there on our last scoring drive.
Oh, it's like
beautiful.
6 a.m. at the
really-
dairy farm.
That's got to be like, for an offensive player, though, that has to be such a great feeling. When you just know, like, we're just
we good.
grinding it
As a
out now,
team.
and you know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the stadium knows what we're doing, and there's still nothing you can do about it. And that's what it got to be with Quentin Cooley down the stretch.
Love it.
what was the time of possession you said?
Liberty ended up winning time of possession 37 minutes, 43 seconds to
Wait,
22
did you say
minutes.
that last drive was 9 minutes?
The last scoring
minutes,
drive
yeah.
was 9 minutes, 39 seconds.
Oh, that'll take.
16 plays.
That's when you're on the sidelines and you're looking at, and you get it as an offense, and you see this. You look at
Yeah,
it, you
I
get them
love
all
when Joe
gathered in.
does this,
You
yeah.
get them all
Yeah.
gathered, and you got the lead,
Yeah.
and you look at them, and you say, you got to take their heart.
Yeah.
You take their heart right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And they went there for 9 minutes. You know what they did? They ripped it right out.
Yeah. Temple of Doom style. Yeah.
It was Temple of Doom
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
Indiana Jones
yeah,
and
right,
Temple of Doom
yeah.
style.
Arguably, the other biggest play, or the
Take
biggest
them
play, could have been Brylan Green. You
It was a big one.
Jack State was driving down the field to close out the first half.
Yep.
And you have to remember, they were getting the ball coming out of half.
yeah.
So if they would have scored there, that could have really changed the entire momentum of the game. But here comes Brylan Green out of nowhere. Chadwell said after the game, Coach Jackson, I don't know if he's a center fielder, but he should be playing center field for you guys this season.
I think Chadwell's going to be telling Coach Jackson his baseball career is
over.
We
You know
need
what?
him right
I
here.
bet he
Right.
plays baseball.
He doesn't leave this building.
I bet he plays
Yeah,
Maybe so.
that interception was
You know what was
huge.
good about watching that back? What was good about watching because it had the DVR thing going,
Yeah.
right? Is when you watch that interception, right? You're looking at, okay, here's a quarterback. You're looking on the hash to see what you got. Okay, they're in cover 2. He's this hash. Brylan Green's on that hash right there. So I take and I look at him, and you see Green flip his hips this way away, right? Which is a smart little idiosyncrasy, smart move, right? He flips his hips away. Then as the quarterback turns and looks towards that, he straightens back out, and it's his anticipation. So his quarterback thinks, okay, I got safety's not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
He goes over here, looks him off, and he throws it. And now, before he's even the ball's out of his hand, he'd flipped his hips back, and he's back off the hash. He's like, boop, right there.
And got the toe tap on the side.
He got the toe tap on the side. Like the instincts and anticipation combined with the athleticism is what, and I'm going to say it right now, that, and other people have said it, Brylan Green is an elite football player.
Okay.
Woo! You heard it here
Yeah,
first on the Flame Central podcast,
Now, I've had some-
powered by Alcova
In all
Mortgage.
fairness-
It's Yacht Talk,
No, that's
baby.
it. I've had some all fairness. I had some other folks that have said that to me also.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So some people close to the program.
Okay.
Do you
Well,
have anything else on the
No,
defense?
go
Let me
ahead.
say two other things on the defense. They've now allowed in 6 games 6 fourth quarter points.
Get out of here.
6 points in the fourth quarter this season.
I am pretty sure they said on the broadcast that the Flames have the best fourth quarter defense in the country.
How
in the
could you be any
nation,
better?
this is the best
Flames
fourth quarter defense.
They call it the Flames quarter.
It's
Flames quarter. Flames quarter. So
Big
that
time.
is.
I think what really gets them fired up
Yeah.
is, in all honesty, and when you win the fourth quarter like that, I think it's your favorite. It's the
Don't
Sweet
Stop Believing.
Caroline.
No, it's Don't Stop
It's-
Believing.
sorry,
Oh,
Don't
gosh.
Stop
What
Believing.
is this, Fenway Park?
It's a
Yeah,
it's a
baby.
Don't Stop Believing song.
Which
right?
I heard
Which
them
you love.
playing that in the
I
stadium
saw-
last night.
I heard
I was
that
like,
too.
what
Guess
have you done? You just flipped the switch.
You've ignited the fire.
You saw all these guys
It's
just
Flames
standing
quarter.
up, all these
and
Liberty
the
defenders
Flames
just
go
like,
higher, higher.
You saw this light come on. It's like this.
Wait a second, we're home.
stop.
Yeah. All right, the only other thing I have for the defense, and we try to be objective here.
We do?
We're not just
Since
just a
when?
sunshine factory. We try to tell both sides.
Tell it
as
like
best we
it
can.
is.
I do still have some concerns about pressuring the quarterback.
Yes.
That is still a concern. And I do think
I agree with that.
Middle Tennessee, they've been throwing the ball around pretty well here lately. And obviously the one that we circled before the season even started, Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
That concerns me, the fact that we have struggled getting after the quarterback. And that has been a trend that continues. Even when we bring pressure, we're not not really getting there. And think about this. I was thinking about that last night. Think about how good these defensive backs and safeties have been this season. Your Brylan Greens, your Kobe Singletons.
Yeah.
Think about how much better they could be if you got a little pressure and forced people to get rid of the ball a little bit.
But this is a very young D-line, you know.
I agree. And I think guys like T.J. Bush, that's going to come.
Yeah.
You're going to see it. But that is if you're like, what concerns you moving forward? That would be at the top of the list for me moving forward.
Because who have you faced is really an elite passer?
Yeah.
Right.
And the guy from Western Kentucky's coming. The guy from Middle, I haven't looked at Middle Tennessee State much.
He's been really good lately.
He's been good lately. Okay, so you've got some guys coming down the pipe that are elite passers. And once again, as Yaktok always says, is you got to come after them with 4. If you can get after with 4 and drop 7, you have a chance to win a lot of football games. When you play an elite passer and you're going to bring 5 or 6 guys and they know where they're coming from and they're well-coached offensive lines and they pick up blitzes and you got to hold up in the secondary, that is very difficult. So we'll see where it takes us.
All right, tonight we have more CUSA games coming up. UTEP is at FIU, and then you have Sam Houston at New Mexico State University. So we'll see how those shake out. But up next for Liberty, don't worry, we'll get to mailbag, Flames fantasy updates, and bold predictions, which I was way off with my score. I need to just simmer down now. But let's preview.
Is that the Snell scoring system?
The Snell scoring system.
Yes, that's the Snell scoring system.
Is in effect.
Let's preview Middle Tennessee. The Flames will return back to the mountain. Remember, home games mean Flame Central Game Day. So be sure to tune in. You can watch an hour before kickoff on Facebook Live, X, Twitter, whatever, or YouTube. So be sure you check out that. I am telling you, and I think I said it last week, but I'm not sure. When I was walking around the stadium and saw it like in the cabanas and everything, speaking of elite, Flames Central Game Day is elite. I'm going to try to get Michael Vick on the show this week, not like in attendance, but on a Zoom.
If he wants
to. Well, he can come to the mountain. Let's go. But he has been super high on Liberty. He's been doing a lot of like the group of 5 rankings, and Liberty has been the top of his list. So I'm going to try to get Vic on the show. So regardless, tune in. It's some great coverage. But Middle Tennessee is coming off a win over La Tech last night, 31-23. There's a look at the stuff while Joe looks over what happened.
31-23.
Matt can give you some
Here's what I can tell you about Middle Tennessee. They're 2-5 on the year.
Oh, they're only 2-5.
Don't let that fool you.
Okay, Coach.
They win last night. Obviously, they had a pretty good lead over Jacksonville State the week before, coughed it up late. They lost to Colorado State only by 8. They lost on the road at Mizzou only by 4. And then they also played Alabama week 1.
They lost to Mizzou by 4?
Yeah, and Alabama blew their doors off week 1, but that's Alabama.
So as they should.
They have been playing better of late. Their quarterback, Nick Variato, over his last 5 games. Last 5 games, he's averaging 295 pass yards per game. So he has been passing. The pass offense has been really good for them of late. So
23-29.
Don't sleep on Middle Tennessee.
Sleeping, but every single time a team passes the ball against the Flames defense, I'm like, oh, interception. Isn't that crazy? That I literally think every single time, oh, we're picking this one off. So,
I mean, and I think the spread or whatever, I think we'll probably have Flames double digits. But I'm just saying, don't complete.
Double digits?
I'd say don't. If I had to guess, and I'm not great at this.
Here's what I know.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not ready to do predictions for this because I really didn't.
Quick turnaround for us, too.
Well, we're going to do predictions.
No,
we're going to do predictions.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's part of the Flame Central.
You tried, Joe.
It's a Snell scoring system.
I want you to produce this show for once.
We have to do it. Okay.
No, you're the producer.
Anything else?
And you do a fabulous job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys completely changed everything that I tried to do.
You know, speaking of fabulous, if you come to Alcova Mortgage,
do it.
Right?
Go ahead.
Listen, we're going to customize a plan. There's a lot of different options out there for you. Do you want a conventional loan? Do you want a USDA loan? Do you want an FHA loan? Do you want a VA loan? VHDA, there's grant money out there, right? It's not just, hey, here's your mortgage, move on.
Right.
Closing costs, everything, right? You got to know what it best suits you.
It's like buying a Whopper. You can do it any number of ways.
100 different ways.
Yeah.
And you want to know what best suits you. So we're going to customize that plan for you. And if you're,
I got it.
And if you're a Liberty alumni or Liberty employee, you get a special deal. And that is 1% of whatever your loan amount is. So if you have a $300,000 loan, it's a $3,000 credit towards your closing costs, up to $100,000. We got 2 of them going right now.
That's real money.
We got 2 real money
People are taking
closings
advantage
that
of
are going to
this.
happen at the end of this month where people want $5,000
Real
credit
money.
and $2,500 credit.
Yeah.
And all you have to do, folks, alumni, employees, go to
alumnicommunity.liberty.edu.
We have turned that into be so smooth now.
Yeah.
After a rough
Yeah.
patch, it's
That's
very
good.
smooth.
That's good.
Go there, check it out. We're here to help.
I made
We're
it
here
my
to serve.
homepage. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out my bold
Couple other
prediction,
things. All right, couple other things while you do that, Em. A couple other news and notes deals. I saw this morning Brett McMurphy of the Action Network, formerly of ESPN and some other places, college reporter. He put out, based on the projected point spreads of the games the rest of the season,
We're back to undefeated season.
Liberty has a 77% chance of finishing 12-0. Now, the surprising part of that, there's 14 remaining unbeatens right now. The surprising part of that is that's the 9th best odds of any team, according to their projections, to finish undefeated. They had Georgia, Florida State, all with better odds to finish undefeated, which doesn't seem right to me. I guess they're just strictly going off of each game on its own, what the spread would be.
Yeah.
But I think if you take it in its totality,
They are playing much.
they had like North Carolina was like 75%.
Yeah.
I lean more towards the ESPN projections we talked about last week.
Yeah.
That had Liberty the most likely to go undefeated.
I mean,
but
you would think so.
yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You know.
But so that's interesting.
Listen, let's not put the cart
Right.
before the horse here.
The
Let's
other
just
thing.
slow down.
Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say
Oh
something?
no, go ahead, because I was gonna go off the field before we get to Flames fantasy.
All right,
And
the other thing, remember we did a couple of weeks ago the kind of the tracking Caden Salter's season and how it compares to Malik Willis and his best season in 21.
I like this.
So
this is
we're
good
still
content.
so we've
so good.
updated
Matt
the
will
numbers.
give you content.
I know.
We've updated the numbers.
He actually does research.
Now this
He
is
does.
still just for the simple math thing. Joe's the numbers guy. I'm still doing it through 12 games. Obviously, Liberty's going to play 13 bowl eligible, and it would take a complete meltdown at this point, you would think, for them not to play 14. Like, if you look at the standings, it's going to be hard for Liberty not to be in that Conference USA Championship game at this point. We can all agree with that.
That's a little early, isn't it?
No? Okay,
Just
all right. Before we get to my let's go. All right, let's go there.
Football.
Let's go there. Let's go there.
A lot of football.
4-0, right? We got, 4 more conference games, right? So right now, we Western Kentucky's 2-0. Jacksonville State 3-1. Jacksonville State isn't eligible for the championship because they're transitioning into.
That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
Transition.
Louisiana Tech is the next closest. They're 2-2, so we're already 2 games clear of La Tech. We get them here at home, so essentially, if you win that game, you're in. Unless we just fall apart. Okay. But I would say yes, it would take a complete meltdown at this point.
The odds are high.
They're very high.
Their odds are high.
Now the question becomes, can you host?
But here's what I have to say to that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the odds were per win? You know the win percentage tracker. Yeah. Do you know what the percentage tracker was that Miami was going to beat Georgia Tech?
99.9.
It was at 99.9%.
Yeah.
So don't count your chickens before they hatch.
That's
the greatest.
I trust Chadwell a little bit more at the reins of this program.
At the end of this
the
game,
greatest meltdown in college football history.
So dumb.
Last night, the broadcaster said, "Hey,
Aaron Murray at the very end decided just to go in on him."
Yeah,
did you hear that?
Did he really?
He's like,
"Oh, Miami should watch this and take
they're
some
like,
notes."
they're kneeling out. He's like, "Miami should watch this," and the other guy goes, "Yeah, I guess they learned their lesson." He's like, "He should have learned his lesson when he did the same thing at Oregon like 2 years before." I'm like, "Whoa, Aaron! Like, where's this coming?" Like, he just
They were good. That was a good broadcast, though.
Solid broadcast. We've picked on Aaron Murray before. That was solid broadcast.
No, they did a.
Okay, but getting back to my Caden Salter thing.
Oh yes, sorry, we are so.
So he's going to play more than 12 games, but let's just, for number's sake, say he's on pace for, in 12 games, almost 3,400 total yards, 44 total touchdowns responsible for. Malik in 21, in 13 games, went for 3,700 yards, 40 TDs. So right now, Salter's on pace to probably break both those marks if you get the 14th game.
Let's go,
What about
baby.
rushing yards? Malik's rushing yards compared to him.
Yeah, it's more. I want to say, I don't have the breakdown, but I want to say Malik had about 900 rushing yards.
He almost rushed for 1,000.
So yeah, it was
How
more.
many
But
rushing
I'm
yards does
okay
Cade have
with
right now?
look at the difference of their size too. And I don't know. I think it's okay that Salter's not getting hit.
You don't necessarily
much and
we've
running
talked
the ball
about
as
that.
much.
Want Salter to have to run as much. And we thought he might have to run a lot last night based on the running back room and the injuries and all that. He had a couple of nice runs.
He did have a couple
He had the
of
one
runs.
where he spun out all the way around and ended up running for a nice gain. I'll look up rushing yards.
I
The
like
internet
how
is
they
incredibly
move him.
slow.
They move him around a little bit. They get him a little here, a little move over there. The offense keeps it nice and smooth.
What do you want? Do you want mailbag next? Do you want
No, sorry. Let's do Flames fantasy update because.
Okay. All right.
Let's do.
Here's what I hear when I say-
when you pick that, I just want to give a shout out to Liberty Field Hockey going on the road,
Did you see my tweet?
beating number 1 UNC.
Yes, they did.
The pack line defense
Yeah, the
in
pack is
field
back.
hockey is legit, people.
I mean, that's a defense.
Congratulations to the Flames on that victory over the number 1 team
was unbelievable.
in the nation.
In
Joe
double
Yock, you
overtime.
have got to, right here on the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage, pick a team.
Oh, stop.
UNC, you're
Get outta
sitting
here.
here.
Emily's doing
leading
that.
the
How
band.
many times,
Go
Joe,
ahead.
have we
Go
seen
ahead.
Emily do her dumb like,
Yeah.
FNU Owls?
Owls.
No, get out of here. Get out of here with that
You're
garbage.
sitting there leading the band at UNC.
Yes. I did happen to go to graduate from there, Emily. I did also
I didn't know
happen
you went
to play.
back to graduate.
I actually did. I just want to let everybody know that. I went to play
Education
my
support.
rookie year in the CFL, and I had 15 hours left on my degree. And after my rookie season, I went back to school at UNC and finished my 15 hours and graduated. You can see the diploma. It's in my office.
Yeah, photocopy. There's like lines through it.
but yeah, I mean, come on.
I'm just joking with you, Joe.
Okay,
It's
now,
all love.
now
So,
the pack line defense that I helped install
Right.
at Liberty, I'm watching it come to shape.
Yeah.
And it's been, there's things that are rewarding in life, right? And this is one of the things you feel like, you know what, Joe, you've made a difference.
Yeah.
And how I've helped that coaching staff
right.
put that pack line defense in and beat my Tar Heels, the number 1 team in the nation. It's very rewarding from within.
That's
all right,
good.
we're wrapping up in less than 5, so let's get to the Flames fantasy update.
Okay, wow. All right, Flames fantasy update. Remember, Emily took the lead last week. This week, Joe was led by Trayon Sibley with 14 points.
Nice.
Stanley Hanshaw, 3.7.
That's it?
Drop off after that.
He had one,
He had like 3 catches, I think, or 2
catches.
catches.
He didn't have a lot of yards.
Yeah, no, 2 catches, 27 yards. So Joe put up 22.9 points. He's at 134.5. Emily got more than that just from Quentin Cooley. He had 28.4 points. She also got 7.5 from Brylan Green. She put up 41.1. She is at 225.6.
Deuces, baby. 2-2-5.
Okay. I was led by Tyron Dupree, who had another really solid game. I think he had 11 total tackles
Dupree
and
is
12 to
solid.
finish.
We give Joe Carter a lot of.
Joe Carter, yeah. Dupree had 12 total tackles.
Dupree is solid.
So he was great. Aaron Bedgood, 13.4 points. He had a touchdown. Elijah Smoot was nowhere to be found. Same with Jerome Jolly. So that didn't help.
How many points?
I put up 29.6. So I'm at 210.1. Emily right now is 15 points up.
Do you know?
It feels so
Hold
good
on, hold on.
to just continue to have the consistent success that I do.
I think we should have an executive decision made.
Oh boy.
You know,
This
like
is what
an
Joe
Uno.
does with
You know, like an Uno.
Pickleball league.
Yeah,
He starts making executive decisions when things aren't going well.
You know, like an Uno.
Yeah.
Right. And I play Uno with Reese, my son, all
Yes,
the time.
yes.
And so we play Uno, and then you have a thing where you shuffle hands.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah.
you switch hands.
Switch hands. Shuffle.
Let's just make it interesting.
I don't
Everybody keeps
know,
saying,
we're not-
and we switch.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
switch teams.
Redraft.
No,
in the
not
middle.
redraft. I get Emily's team because I'm in last place.
Right.
And then you get Matt's team.
No,
That is the most idiotic thing I've
I mean,
ever
it'll
heard.
make it much more interesting.
For you.
All right,
Yeah.
what is it?
We got a mailbag.
The Snell. The Snell
Oh, the
scoring
Snell scoring
system.
system. Yes, I'm glad you
The
brought this
Snell
up.
scoring system.
Thank you,
like
our
I
friend.
said, man, I was way off with my
Our friend
points.
Jeff Snell sent me a picture of him with his mug. He got his mug out.
Yeah.
So you'll remember, Emily picked 42-35, immediately regretted it.
I said that.
Yeah.
I knew
Joe
it was
picked
coming.
Liberty.
I was going to say 21-13.
Joe picked
That would've
Liberty to
been-
win 30-28. So Joe was very close on the Liberty score.
Yeah.
I picked Liberty 24-20. I ended up being the closest.
No!
So I get my first win of the
I
year.
don't want to agree with the Snell scoring system.
I mean, numbers
you did
don't
last
lie.
Week.
Numbers
you
don't
did
lie.
last week.
Yeah.
When you won.
So you-
You are.
So you won. So wait,
Yeah.
24-20.
Basically,
Okay.
I was 7 points off of each team.
Okay.
on the
And you
over.
said you were gonna.
All right,
that,
I'm not gonna. I will not question. the
Bedgood
Snell
was gonna
scoring.
take one to the house. Didn't happen.
Okay.
What?
Whoa,
Bedgood did
whoa,
take
whoa,
one to the
whoa,
house,
whoa,
Emily.
whoa, whoa. Okay, let's get.
That.
Yeah, he scored.
But
long
I
touchdown.
said, to be fair, I did say kickoff return.
Yeah.
especially-
So he did
wow.
not. Emily had a wide receiver, touchdown, running back, and quarterback all to score.
Almost.
Oh, I said C.J. Daniels. I said C.J. Daniels.
You had C.J. Daniels going off. That obviously didn't happen either. So there you go. Do you want mailbag or do you want to give our bold predictions now?
You ready for bold predictions, Joe?
No, both save bold predictions. Let's go mailbag.
Okay.
Mailbag.
All right, mailbag looks like this. We got a really good question. It is it's actually field hockey related.
Oh, let's go.
So this comes to us from Mark Murdoch.
Oh, this is my area.
Actually, he asked 2 questions. His first one, Joe, this is a good one for you.
Yeah, especially.
Are football referees spotting the ball more inconsistently than ever this season? And I think even last night there was a couple of questionable spots. I do feel like it.
Yeah.
Some crews, I feel like if it's 9.5, they're like, let's just.
They gave Liberty a first down where Salter was way short. But they reviewed it,
but here's the thing.
Still.
It's I agree with them. It's the spotting of the ball. Like, they're just rolling up there. Like, okay, I understand if you want to go fast.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to go fast within the rules of the game.
Accurate.
Right?
Yeah.
And accuracy, good point. Accuracy is within the rules of the game. And so these dudes are running up there, especially like you said, it's at 9 3/4 yards and they just throw the ball down. They're like, first down, let them go. Like, whoa, hold on. Like, let's slow it down.
I do feel like it does
bit.
seem more inconsistent than ever. Not even talking about last night where there were a couple, but just in general, I feel like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's just more an observation.
Good
observation.
His better question is the field hockey team the only Liberty team to ever defeat 2 number 1 ranked teams?
This is your area.
They defeated Rutgers in 21 in the tournament and UNC this year. So
this is your area of expertise.
I put our crack research staff on this.
Yeah.
Bill Smith.
Billy Smith.
Bill Smith and whoever else he incorporated.
Smith.
I think he sounded the horn, all the SIDs.
Came together.
Yeah.
And I will give our SIDs a shout out. The best SIDs in the country because they all, Paul Carmody,
Joe Carmody probably had a field day with this.
Yeah.
So they love this. This is right in their wheelhouse. So they looked it up. Football program defeated number 1 Carson Newman in 1984 as an NAIA member.
Bam.
And then beat number 1 Coastal Carolina
in
that famous game as an FCS member to go to the playoffs. But
wait, number 1 Coastal what?
That was
FCS.
FCS days.
Yeah, gotcha.
So field hockey is the only program in Division I at Liberty to ever have 2 wins over a number 1 ranked team. So yes, in reality, they are the only program to have done it in the same, at the highest level.
That is pretty impressive.
So, big time. And he moved up to number 7 in the polls this week. Which, by the way, you're 9. You knock off 1. You cowards, put him in the top 5. Put him in the top 5. Give me a break.
Speaking of the Carmody brothers.
What is that? Oh, we'll bump them up 2 spots. They go on the road.
You called them cowards.
At UNC. Nobody wins there.
Hey, who's the last team?
This might be the clip.
Are you kidding me?
This might be the clip.
Tell me the last team that beat UNC on their home field.
Oh, it was Liberty.
Oh, sorry.
2
we
spots?
have a my moment coming out
of
that.
What is this? They didn't beat Quinnipiac. They beat UNC on the road.
Cowardly lion.
Give me a break.
Speaking of the Carmody brothers, every single morning when I'm walking Stanley on the trails, I see the Carmody brothers, doing their jog. So maybe you can train with them for your mile run.
The mile's never happening. The mile's never. Joe has just hoped we've all forgotten about this.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Oh, that one time he walked in with crutches.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this thing up. All right, bold. What do you want to say?
Ryan Barr, a Liberty employee, are now in the last 2 weeks at JPL Pickleball 10-0.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because you're making up rules, apparently.
We're talking about undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, bold predictions. And then remember, next week, I'm pretty sure we may be able to get a special guest.
Do you want to just say it?
On the show.
Let's just say it.
Yeah, get it.
Are we going to just go Thursday then? Let's do that. Let's do that. Here's what we're going to do.
Thursday.
All right.
Listen up.
Look, America, I'm looking at you right now. Here's what's happening. Next week, Liberty will play Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a podcast Wednesday, and here's why. We are going to have David Pollack on the show.
He's coming on the show.
Formerly of College Game Day. You can find him all over Twitter. He does a lot of great work. He has a podcast as well. Yeah, great Faith and Family podcast. He is coming on the Flame Central podcast
Powered
by Alcova Mortgage.
Oh, what about that clip with the
Oh, that's
What
gonna
if
be
he
a
messes
moneymaker.
that up?
He's a pro.
Definitely
He's a
not.
pro. He's a pro. So he's going to come on with us Thursday. So we're going to go
Because he's coming to speak
Thursday
at
because he's
Convo,
coming
right?
to speak at Convo.
Yeah.
We get him a little early. He's going to come, so we'll have our podcast on Thursday because we want to wait for David Pollock.
I think that's a pretty good reason of
That's a
why
great
we
reason.
wait.
Yeah.
But
Excited
we
to
will
have
bring
him
the
on.
same energy as we did today.
Come on.
So bold
Pollock's not-
predictions from
Pollock's-
Middle
Pollock's ready.
Tennessee.
Pollock's a level-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's a very rational thinker. I don't know if he's going to be like, whoa.
You know what? Though? He's a defensive guy. You just got to tap into.
You got to
figure out
You
what.
find it. You just got to hit the button.
And then pull his heart, yank it out, just like the
Paul
Flames
pull
do.
everybody's heart out.
Okay, so bold predictions from Middle Tennessee here at Williams Stadium.
Bold prediction? You want me to go
Bold
first?
prediction.
All right. Bold prediction is that I think the Cooley. No, I don't know. I'm not feeding your fire. I'm going a different direction because I know he's your fantasy player, and so I'm not feeding that fire. We're going back to one of my guys.
Okay.
We're going back to one of my guys, and I'm gonna go with this. He's been on. We haven't heard from him much lately.
Yeah.
Right. Bold prediction: Quentin Reese, 2 interceptions.
Okay.
2, not 1,
You're
but
right.
2.
You know, Brylan Green is kind of.
Yeah, he's taking the interception.
He's kind of become that guy back there.
Yeah.
Quentin Reese been just flying under the radar.
They're going to go away from get away from Brian Green. They're going to Quentin Reese. He's a player.
They're gonna burn him.
He's going to make plays.
All
2
right.
interceptions.
Em?
Are we doing?
What's score? What's score?
Prediction? Score prediction is they'll score a little bit. They're quarterbacks. I'm going to say 38-21 Liberty.
Ooh,
38-21.
mine's very similar to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go final score 35-17. And then I'll do, Salter will have over 250 total yards.
That is
That's
not.
nothing.
That's a terribly. That's
nothing.
awful.
That's nothing.
Awful. There's nothing bold about
and-
that. 250.
I know, but I
Okay,
just...
he had over 200.
I know. I just looked.
just-
I've just been
All right,
really,
let me
really
get mine.
bold.
You think about that. Let me get mine.
I've been really bold on my predictions.
You think about
lately.
that.
Okay.
I'm going Liberty wins 42-20. Salter accounts for 5 total TDs.
That's bold.
That's what I'm doing.
That's really.
bold.
I wasn't done.
All right, go. Go
back.
back. Go back.
Okay, I will say, I'll go on the defensive side. I'll say we'll have 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery.
Oh, 2 by Quentin Reese.
No, not by Quentin Reese.
And a fumble recovery.
You know what I'll say for my bold prediction?
Oh, boy, it's getting bold.
Boy, you have
Non-Quentin
been
Reese.
all over the map.
You know what the best part is?
Non-Quentin Reese interceptions.
Okay,
and,
non-Reese.
Non-Reese to...
Take
Reese.
Brylan Green, 2 interceptions.
You know what is
He's the
great?
interception machine.
What's great with Emily is
No,
your
Singleton is the
guy.
we can
interception
always
machine.
go to Emily into going bolder. And it's very easy. She'll start with like, I think this, and we're like, oh, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
8 touchdowns. You
Does-
can always keep her,
You know
oh,
what?
that's not bold
You know
enough?
what
She's
keeps
easy
me
to
Yeah,
going?
antagonize.
listen to this.
She's
Yeah.
easy to
Yeah, you guys
antagonize.
attack me.
Yeah.
And you know
No,
what
we
feels
don't
good?
attack
You
you.
do. And you know what feels good? When I'm walking around the streets of Williams Stadium and I have
Streets of
fans.
Williams Stadium.
I didn't
the
realize they put
concourse.
streets inside of Williams Stadium.
The concourse and levels of Williams
Yeah.
Stadium. Because I have multiple, almost 3.
Almost.
What are you talking about right now?
Fans come up to me
Yeah.
with so much support about why you guys are so mean to me and how I'm able to have thick skin and take it and how it helps the podcast
You know what
grow.
I hear?
I am doing
People
it
always
for you.
say, I love how you guys just give it to Emily.
It's so mean.
People love it. I think
Okay,
they understand.
thanks so much for supporting
get it.
their bulliness
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
me. We'll
You're
be right
like
back
a
here.
little sister.
I know, it's so cute.
And you're a cute little sister.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
Just
so
means
much.
we love you.
You're special.
Remember, this is the Flame Central
And
podcast
it's
powered by Alcova Mortgage, and we will be back
Go
here
Flames!
Thursday.
next
Come on, baby!
Thursday. Flames Nation, be sure to show up and show out for Tuesday's
Tuesday.
game against Middle Tennessee. And check out the Flame Central game day. Starts at 6 p.m. On those accounts. So thanks so much. We'll see you next Thursday.